Hi friends, good morning, welcome back to another video, or if this is your first time here, and then a big huge special welcome to you guys. I hope that you guys will hit that subscribe button down below, click the little bells to be notified of all my future uploads, and let's go ahead and let's get started. Alright, first of all, if you want to see this look, products that I use, definitely hit that subscribe button. This video will be coming here shortly, so definitely make sure you guys are subscribed so you guys know when I upload this video. But today's video is definitely like a hard video because I am ranking the 20 palettes that I tried in August. And usually I don't have as hard of a time as I did with this ranking. I'm pretty sure I ranked and re-ranked these like 7 to 10 times because I was like, no, I think this needs to go here. It was definitely a very hard ranking. So if you guys want to see what 20 palettes I used in August and where I rank them and why, then definitely keep on watching. Start at the bottom of the wolf pack and the number 20 spot. We have the ColourPop. This is part of the Too Hot collection. This is the Rumor Has It palette. I hate this palette. Okay, I said it. Yeah, so basically this color right here, I took a lot of building up. It was patchy. I feel like this palette, it was almost like it was divided, like it's like these colors went together and these colors went together. But when I did my like review of like trying out all the hot palette collections, I was trying to really use all the colors for one look. And I just felt like the looks that you could have tried to get using all of these just like did not go. It did not match. I did not like it. Again, the quality just like wasn't there compared to like the other palettes in the collection or like compared to any of the other palettes that I have. But like I absolutely hated this. I really feel like we could have taken these two out and like went with something maybe a little bit more blue here, or we could have taken these out and went with something a little bit more like teal. I don't know. We could have really went any direction, but like whatever in the hell they were thinking with this was not a good one. And so it is number 20. The quality, color story, everything about this, I hate. Number 19 also comes from the same collection. This is the purple one. This is the Cashmere Forever. Okay, I literally had to spend 35 minutes to get this to even build up. I have then since tried it on like a white base. And again, nothing. No, it's super unpigmented. Like, here's me, like it just feels so hard. Like look, like here's me digging into the shade, right? Hardly anything, not worth it. This shimmer shade is beautiful, but it is just so chunky and then it comes off very powdery. I don't know. These three were fine. Like I feel like this is what saved the look, but the fact is I paid a good amount of money for 5 shades and 2 of them suck. So then it's like I paid like, I think these were like $9 or something like that. I paid like $9 for 3 shades. That's like $3 a shade. These aren't worth $3 per shade. I just really wish these performed a lot better. Number 18 is the Wicked Sisters Texas Chainsaw Massacre. First of all, the packaging weirds me out. Like I know like this whole part right here is fine. Like it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Absolutely. You got the guy with the chainsaw in front of the house. What the hell is this? What is this and why is this here? Like who asked for this? Like who was like, let's put some eyeballs there? That just weirds me out. 1, completely and totally weirds me out. 2, the colors, like the mattes were nice. They blended up nicely together. But then you only have 3 shimmers. And this one feels like sandpaper and doesn't have a lot of pigment. And then you have a gold and a pink. Like what? And then you have so many like very just like light shades in here that I'm like, this isn't very like diversive. It's just okay. Like honestly, like every other palette in this ranking has a much better formula. I feel like these 3 right here are like the ones where I'm like, just don't even waste your money. Like it's not even worth wasting your money. Where the other ones are like, they have really good qualities to it. There's just a couple negative things about it until we get to like the top ones. So that was really hard to rank. But like overall, like this is just not it. Number 17 is the Makeup Revolutions in collaboration with Bratz. This is the Yasmin palette. I really enjoyed the look that I came up with in this palette. The issue that I'm having is like I used Zen, and like in person this is like a cool tone brown, but it turns very pink. So then I went with like a pink look and these looked fine. But like there's so many shades in here that I'm like, what are we doing? Like you have like this yellow and you have like this green, but like you don't have like anything else that like really goes with it. I don't know, it just kind of feels very like uncohesive. You have like this like mystery shade up here, which is like a dark purple shimmer, and it's just like, what? Like purple, there's not even like that, like that, I don't know. No, it's like, it's just not. The shape of this is really awkward. It's hard for it to store. The pan sizes like are so, like these ones are like so tiny. And then you have like these giant ones. I don't know. I really do like this because my sister did get a Bratz doll named after her. If you guys have not checked out that video, I will definitely link that down below. But yes, she did get a Bratz doll made for her, named after her. So like that's really cool. And like the look that I created was like bam in your face. The shimmers are beautiful. Like they are stunning. I just think the mattes are really like all over the place. And so that's just one reason why it's ranked lower. And then like this I thought was going to be like a light brown and it was more pink. So just a couple of things that like really just like dove it down to the bottom. Number 16 is also from the ColourPop Hot collection. This is the Statement Piece palette. This is not a bad palette, like at all. Actually, it's like a really nice, like orangey coral kind of a color story. The one thing I would change is like maybe like having this shimmer be different, because I just don't feel like these two really go well together if you ever wanted to do a look together. So I'm thinking like something maybe like a lighter pink or like more orange or something like that I think would have been better. So that's one reason why it's ranked lower. Another reason is like, I don't really wear a lot of oranges. I'll wear some pinks, but like coral and oranges aren't really like the colors that I'm going for my eyes. Just because like based on my skin tone, I'm very, very cool. And these are very, very warm. And so sometimes really warm shadows can make me look very, very like sick. And so I really have to like be very careful with them. And I mean, granted, this is an easy, effortless palette. I just wish that this shimmer was different. And then again, I'm just not really into like the color story myself. But overall, the quality is great. If this is a color story you're interested in, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Number 15 is the Give Me Glow Sweet and Sticky palette. I used this maybe like 2 times this month. And I have to say, the shimmers really steal the show. I just don't care that much for like the colors that they chose neutral wise. I don't know. I feel like these two go together and like these two go together. However, this shade I do find to be a little bit on the patchy side. And this one I do have to do quite a bit of building. These two are nice. So it's like you get 2 really nice mattes and you get 2 really nice shimmers. And like these two are kind of like, it's all right. But I mean, overall, this is probably my least favorite Give Me Glow palette, period, that they've ever made. Is this one. I just don't think it competes with like the other ones that I have ranked. Number 14, I think kind of shocked me. That is going to be the new Nude palette from Huda Beauty. Now, I thought that like the look that I created was absolutely beautiful. Any of the other looks I have created, absolutely beautiful. But here are some things that kind of brought it down. One, I don't care for this concealer shade. One, it's just like a little bit like too yellow and a little bit too deep for me personally. Number 2, it has like these glitters and I'm not a huge glitter fan. I think the rest of the palette is beautiful. I think that like, you know, like the shimmers are like, they're really good. Like, I mean like they are like so good. But I mean, this is just a basic neutral palette. Like it's just basic and it's neutral. And you know, this is a hefty price. I think it's like $48 or like $50, something like that. Maybe even more than that. Maybe it's like $60, I don't know. And so there are just other palettes that I like the color story more, the formula of more, or like the quality just a little bit more. I don't think this is overall like a bad palette, but like compared to like the rest of the palettes that I have, again, it's a boring pinky purplish nude palette. It's got a concealer that I'm not a huge fan of, and it's got a glitter that I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, the shimmers are extraordinary, but I've got other palettes that also have extraordinary shadows in it. Number 13 is the e.l.f. Electric Mood palette. I thoroughly like enjoy this, especially for like a drugstore price point. I think this was like $15. It comes with 18 shades, so that makes these like less than $1 each. The mattes I found to be very buttery, very blendable. I really didn't have any issues. The shimmers also very, very nice, very, very easy to work with. I think the color story, you have a little bit of wiggle room. You could do like a little bit of like a purplish look. You can do like a neutral look. You could do like a sunset kind of a look. I think you have a lot of different options. You could go with like a blue. Like there's just like a ton of options. Again, you get 18 shades for like $15. That is so fairly priced, especially for the quality. So that's why this is ranked where it is. I just like the color story and the formula of other stuff a little bit more than this, but like overall, like if you're like at the drugstore, like Target or whatever, and you are wanting to like pick up like a really nice palette, I would totally say check this one out. Number 12 is the ColourPop Powerpuff Girls collaboration. Okay, this is such like a nostalgic palette, and I love how like heavy and like weighted this feels. I do like the color story of it, you know, slightly. There's some things I would change, but like, you know, you've got like Bubbles and you've got Buttercup and you've got Blossom, all like in like this palette. You've got some neutrals. However, you have like these glittery shades. Okay, you only have two colors right here for Bubbles. One's this blue and one's like this glittery shade. I wish this was like a normal like shimmer. I also wish like take this out and maybe place like a lighter blue in it to maybe do another more cohesive look. You have two shimmers here that are pretty similar, so I would maybe take one of these two out and place in another green. I feel like you have lots of options here for Blossom, but I feel like for Buttercup and Bubbles, you only really get two options. And so I really would have liked to have seen something a little bit different. I do love the artwork. It's got a nice mirror. This is definitely like Powerpuff Girls artwork. I love like the packaging that it came in. Like you have the little heart, and then like on the inside you have like things that are like very much like Powerpuff Girls. Overall, I think they did a fantastic job with this collaboration. I just think that like some of the changes that I made are like drastic enough changes that it brings it down lower onto the list. Number 9, 10, and 11 are all ranked together. They are the Sydney Grace times Temptalia collaboration with Temptalia. So they came out with like 3 palettes. Like here's a palette, here's a palette, and then this. So the reason why, and I think this is maybe just like a personal preference. I don't know. I don't really know if I've ever, actually I don't think I've ever seen anybody review these palettes. So there's that. So I don't know if anybody else is saying this, but I really think that like these would have been better if like the color story, so like this color story was maybe more like a green and a blue. You know, this one be more of like those like pinky purples, and then, you know, one that's like a little bit more like, I don't know, cool toned or something, you know, something like that. Like just kind of more cohesive within the palettes, because I feel like when I reach into these, for me to get the look that I'm looking for, I need to reach into all 3. But let me tell you, the formula on these are incredible. Okay, like these shimmers with a dry brush. Okay, a dry brush. I mean, look at, that's with a finger, like look at that. But with a dry brush, you even get like insane intensity. The mattes are beautiful, pigmented, blend well together. Overall, like, these are such good palettes. However, because I need to dip into all 3 to do a look, that's why I'm kind of ranking number 9 through 11 together. And the reason why they're placed 9 through 11 is just because I kind of wish the color stories were more cohesive. If that makes sense. And maybe this is just my own personal preference. I don't know. That's just what I wish. Number 8 is another one of the hot collections from ColourPop. This is High Society. This is the all green one. This is a color story that's beautiful. Every time I use this, I'm floored. I love this. It has a lot of like versatility in terms of which way, or like you can use all of the mattes together. You can use like the mattes separate with shimmers. It's just like, it's beautiful. This palette is absolutely beautiful. The reason why it's not ranked any higher, because this easily could have been ranked higher, is because the fallout is so ungodly. It's awful. Like the fallout is so much. It falls out all over in the pan, falls out there's fallout all over your face. So that's just one negative. That's like one negative, but that's like a huge negative. But I have nothing bad to say about like the color story, the looks I create, nothing. I love how compact this is. Like this is definitely one where like if I'm traveling and I want something colorful, like I'm gonna bring this because this is just like easy to just like put in somewhere. Also, if you guys want to see like a what's in my travel bag, so if I'm ever traveling, what I would put in it, let me know and I will go ahead and I will absolutely do that. But know that this is definitely one that would go into my travel bag. Number 7 was in my Shop My Stash, and this is the Give Me Glow Pastel Dreams palette. I absolutely like love this palette. It is super easy to do like a very easy quick look. Like you can like apply one of these mattes and like apply the corresponding shimmer, or apply this matte and like a corresponding shimmer, or this matte and this shimmer. Like it's super easy to do. If you want to take your time and do more intricate looks, then you absolutely can. I kind of find that like with the intricate looks, I really have to sit there and think about it a little bit longer, which is one reason why it's just ranked a little bit lower. It's just because I can easily do like a two shadows and done look and like no problems. I just found when it comes to like more intricate looks, or I'm using a bunch of different shades, I really have to sit there and think about like how well are these colors going to go together, things like that. And so I just have to be like really like mindful and really think about that. So that's why it's ranked a little bit lower. But this palette is beautiful. You do have to use a white base. The pigment is not as pigmented as any of their other shadows, but again, it's pastels. Pastels are hard to make. Pastels aren't always as pigmented in your face as you would like them to be, but overall, this is a really good palette. Number 6 is the Candy Skies palette from Laura Lee. I love this. I love the look that I created. I will say there's a couple of things that I wish were different. In terms of mattes, I feel like there's not really a whole lot of like deep mattes. I feel like you have like some deep shimmers, but in terms of like deep mattes, you're not really getting a whole lot of deep mattes. So I kind of wish like maybe instead of this yellow shade, maybe putting in like a deep purple matte, instead of like this shade, maybe putting in like a deeper like green, and then I don't know, get rid of this maybe and put in like a deeper blue. Like I don't know, I just maybe would have changed it or added more shades or something like that. So I just feel like there's something missing to this palette to make me want to be like, this is my number 1. But the fact is like the looks I created are beautiful, color story is beautiful, pigmentation is there, blendability is there. It has all the check boxes that I would need for a palette, minus those couple little tweaks. So that's why it's down at number 6. But if it had those changes or had more shades added, it definitely could have been a lot higher. Number 5 is the last palette from the ColourPop Hot Collection. This is the pink one. It's super cute, super beautiful. This definitely, like on camera, this looks like very like hot pink, and that's how it turns off on the eyes. But like in person, like these are leaning a little bit more red than they are magenta. But overall, this is a great palette. The pigmentation was there, the blendability was there, the color story is there. I absolutely love this palette. I don't think I'll be disappointed with this. I think it's on sale on ColourPop, or it was on sale. I don't know, something like that. But I love the color story and the formula of my top 4 palettes, just slightly a little bit more. Number 4 is the Give Me Glow Summer Vibes palette. I love this palette. This palette has like so many different things that you can do. You can go neutral, you can go orange, you can go pink, you do a little bit of pops of blue. Like it has like so many different directions you can go. The formula is amazing. The color story is amazing. The shimmer formula, out of this world. I haven't made a bad look with this palette. This is definitely like a huge summer palette. One I could see me reaching for every summer that I have this palette. It's incredible. But I just like the color stories of the top 3 a little bit more. Time for the top 3. Number 3 is going to the Abh Norvina Palette. I am complimented with this all the time. This is probably my favorite Abh Norvina palette. I own all of them. I own numbers 1 through 5. And this one is by far my favorite. This is a color story that I'm so into. I wasn't really into like the oranges or the blues. They did another purple palette, but I think this purple palette is so much better than the other one. The mattes are pigmented, blend beautifully. The shimmers, I mean, beautiful. Also blend easily. You have a nice white shade to help kind of like blend everything out. You do have some neutral options as well, so you could do neutral and add like a pop of color. I feel like this is a great palette to really kind of start with colors because you really do have like these really nice neutrals, and you could just easily add in a really nice pop of color, whether that be on the lid, whether that be, you know, like maybe like in your crease or outer corner or on the inner corner, something like that. The only downside to this is it's so big. Actually, there's 2 downsides. It's just so big. So like trying to travel with this is hard because this formula is very soft, that like it does break a little bit easily. I have seen people that ordered straight from the Abh website, and it came like, I mean, like bubble wrapped on top of bubble wrap in a nice fitting secure box, and it still came broken. So this is one where it's like, it's so big, it's heavy. Like if I'm doing my makeup, I will sometimes just take like the mirror from like my eyeshadow palette and sit here and do my makeup, and the mirror on this is incredible, but it's just like, it's so big that like it just starts to hurt my hand after a while. Hard to travel with, and it's got some glitters in there that I really wish were not in there. All right, number 2 is going to be the Lethal is Dead palette. This is such a me palette. Like these like grungy colors, especially like these grungy greens and some like grungy purples. The blues, not so much, but I find that the blues are shockingly like wearable and easy to use. And I'm not just like sitting there like freaked out like, oh god, it's gonna be blue, this is gonna look terrible, I hate blue eyeshadows. I don't find that with this. I think that like the artwork is super cute. And then it has a mirror, and the mirror says like, don't look behind you. So funny, love that. And I love the color story. This is a more buildable formula. So this is one where you will definitely have to go in a couple of times with the mattes. The shimmers, same. You know, you do have to do some like slight building up with it. But overall, it's very beautiful. I love that these are like very grungy colors, but it's not overpowering. I think that's like one thing that I really love about this. And I feel like the shimmers that she picked to go with like the mattes were stunning. Like those were great choices. I also love this because I love Teresa is Dead. She's fantastic here on YouTube. Love her thoughts and opinions. So yes, although this is good, there's just one palette that rivals all the palettes. Can you guys guess what it is? Number 1 is the Glamlight X Michaela palette. I mean, okay, first of all, the packaging in and of itself is like so fun. It's beautiful. But then let's just like talk about this color story. This is like such a good rainbow palette. You've got purples, you've got blues, you've got greens, you've got oranges, you've got pinks, and you've got neutrals. There's something in here for literally everybody. There's something in here for every skin tone. But like, let's take a minute here. And let's see what's in there. Let's talk about these shimmers here for like just a second. I mean, these shimmers are incredible, incredible. I felt like it was going to be really hard to rank which one was going to be number 1. But like after just like looking at this color story, the mattes being pigmented, blendable, shimmers being out of this world stunning, it was easy to see why this was number one. It's just the fact that like you have so many options for everyone, from every skin tone to every color story that they might like in this one palette. And it's just so beautiful. Michaela did a great job. This is probably one of like the better palettes that I have. It's gonna be so hard ranking at the end of the year all the palettes that I've tried, because I have tried some really great palettes, and this is no exception. Such a good palette. Like, of all the palettes that I showed today, I feel like this is the one that's going to be perfect for anyone. Anyone is going to be able to get like the most use out of this palette, whereas other ones were kind of like color story preference, things like that. No, this is one that has a color story for everyone in here, and the quality is so extraordinary. There's no way you can be disappointed in this. Alright, and that is it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. This is always one of my favorite videos to film, is ranking the palettes, just in case you guys are like, man, there's a lot of new palettes being released, because there's always a lot of palettes being released. What's good and what's not good. And so I like being able to do like a compilation of palettes, so you guys can see like what the number one be that I think would be really worth purchasing, and maybe ones that you should maybe stay away from. But yes, these are my favorite videos to film. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video down below. Let me know if there are some palettes that you guys are loving this month. What are some palettes I should stay away from if I haven't bought them already? That is it for today's video. Please comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Click the little bell if you have not already. I would love for you guys to join this dumpster fire of a channel. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.